What is up?
What up? What up?
What is up? Welcome to the Shogi Sound. Before I was rudely interrupted. Come on, man. How you gonna do that? Welcome to the Shogi Sound. We're gonna be telling you how lit the Justice League movie was. I am JC, and you got your boy Crispy with us today. What's
how
up, Crispy?
lit or how not lit it was?
I thought it was pretty lit.
Hey, man, we'll get into that.
Anyways, before we get into that, we're gonna put up a spoiler warning here. If you have not seen it, I would suggest to go see it. Would you suggest?
I would absolutely go suggest to see it. I'm not gonna give any indication.
Okay.
As to whether it was good
spoilers
or not.
up here. If you don't want the movie spoiled, go ahead, go watch the movie, come back, and
It's
come
worth
watch
the
video.
money, even if thoughts aside on the movie, it was very entertaining. Go see it.
True that. Okay, so first thing that we're gonna get into is who was the low-key MVP in the movie, and now we're gonna let Crispy go first. Like, what you got, man? What you got?
We saved the best for first here.
The best for first.
Here at Shogi Sound. Yep, we like to switch it up, but low-key MVP for me. A lot of people might disagree, but I'm gonna go Aquaman. Aquaman, who is it? Jason Momoa. You know, the look, it was different than his typical look, but I thought he looked cool, you know, and he had some funny scenes in there, and I think the way they set it up good for an Aquaman movie because they didn't explain like too much about his. I know a little bit about Aquaman because I'm kind of a comic book guy, but you know, I think he was the low-key MVP. He was really cool, and it was different.
Okay. Well, to me, I feel like Aquaman is like right there, but I felt like The Flash was the low-key MVP for me. Now, we both watched Young Justice. We both know the Justice League shows and the animated shows of Barry Allen.
And the show The Flash.
And the show The Flash. I haven't actually seen that personally.
I'll tell you this. If y'all haven't seen, you've probably seen at least one or two of those, but like in 4, 5, 6, and then comic books like the variations, Barry Allen is always different. So I mean, you might like him in one, you might not. But
okay, so let me go through the reasons why. I mean, he did have his problems, his character flaws, but I feel like Flash as a character was low-key the MVP for me because they kind of threw him in as comic relief at first. He was just like, oh yeah, that's the bat signal, man. He was just saying stuff. I was like, he was funny at the start, but he was the only one like cracking jokes, and I feel like they were trying to like. At some points in the movie, you were like, dude, this literally looks like a Marvel movie. That's like one of the lower key like Marvel movies. Yeah. And then once he started like getting more like confident or whatever, and they all were getting towards the climax with the fight and Steppenwolf or whatever, I thought I was like, dude, I really enjoyed Flash more than everyone else did because Batman looked like he had just came from a Halloween party. Wonder Woman like digressed instead of like or regressed instead of like just went as a character. Right. She started off really strong and then was like just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get beaten up by Steppenwolf over here. And like
she Wonder Woman's probably like so far in the movie, she's probably my favorite.
In the DCEU definitely. Yeah. She carried the movie by herself. And she carried most of this movie. She did. She was like, bro, she had some fight, bro. And then Cyborg, like if we look at the other characters, so Cyborg was like really like the weakest point. Like he was the weakest point at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. And then as we went forward, and I really liked what they did with his suit. Yeah. We'll talk more about that later on. But so I mean, I thought he was the weakest out of the bunch. And then Superman was Superman. He did what he usually does. Yeah. He comes in, man, lifting buildings and crap. So I thought it was cool.
That was really funny.
So that was one of the funniest scenes in the movie. Yeah. So I mean, most of the I like to have a little comedy in my superhero movies. Yep. And for some reason, I felt I got a more of like a Wally West vibe. You were saying that when we got out of the movie, like it was like a Wally West vibe more than a Barry Allen vibe. And if they would have went with Wally West, that would have been cool.
I would have been mad. That's Wally West is the one that's in the Justice League cartoon.
Yes, he is. But no, dude, I thought he was a low-key MVP, and I did like Aquaman, but and he had one of the funniest scenes too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just felt like at the beginning he was just being a pretentious douchebag at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of true to his character too, because he starts out like he doesn't want to be the king of Atlantis or anything. That's why like him and Queen Mara had that scene where they're like you need to be the king.
And like in that scene, it's like they're not even together yet. And then like Cyborg, like his suit is still like having malfunctions. He's not completely in control. Barry's like scared to save people.
Yeah.
And like Wonder Woman in this movie, like she's already cold. She had a movie or whatever, but like I guess all the people, like 3 of these characters aren't really established superheroes in this movie.
True.
Like,
that is true.
The Flash is obviously, like he said in the movie, like all he's done is like he's saved people and like he's pushed some guys and ran away. He hasn't fought like with us like against real villains. He's just fought like petty crimes. And
True.
Aquaman is not even the king of Atlantis. All he does is like he like helps like people that are near like the coast, like by the sea. And then you got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They're all established, I guess.
Well, basically, kind of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the Christopher Nolan movies are with the movies now. Like, are they in continuity or not? So
nah, they're not.
I know. I hope the Dark Knight was, because that one was freaking amazing.
Yeah, that one was good.
But anyway, so those were our Loki MVPs. His was Aquaman, mine was Flash, and we're gonna move on to like what our dislikes were of the movie. And I'm gonna start off on this one because, go ahead. Oh my gosh, let me say,
let me get my book out.
Let me get my book of things that I hated. But the first thing that we'll address is they got like a recently graduated art student to do their CGI, and the only good CGI parts were Barry Allen's lightning. I really like that. And whenever they get like Reverse Flash in the DCEU, his is gonna look really cool with the negative Speed Force and the red lightning. Dope. That's gonna look so cool. Like I can't wait for that. So I thought that was cool. And the everyone was complaining about Cyborg's suit and like all the pre-reviews or trailer reviews at the beginning, but they did a really good job of saying like, oh well, he can't control his powers and stuff like that. And then he makes the suit like the one that you see in like the Injustice games and like in like stuff like that, like his current suit. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought how they like completed that was like really cool. So CG, need to step it up because Marvel was killing it in the CG and they had all kinds of stuff in Thor Ragnarok, apparently, is what they were saying, like all kinds of CG stuff. So step the CG up. Second thing is this is just a thing in general. Zack Snyder should not be directing anymore of these DC movies, because I feel like I heard there was a lot of reshoots and stuff, a lot of stuff that Joss Whedon took out of the movie, and in the end it was actually a really good movie. Like I wasn't entertained by it. It was enjoyable, but it's still not up to the par that Marvel's movies are going.
Hey, I'll say this, man, about Snyder. Like his shots, the way he does his shots, they look cool, but like everything else about it is just completely questionable.
I feel like his storytelling is lacking.
Yeah, that's where I don't
you can see it so clearly in the Batman v Superman movie.
It's the only thing about, like, my thing with Snyder is like I don't ever know what he's trying to like when he does things. I don't know what he's trying to do.
True that.
What is his end goal? What is he trying to achieve like throughout the movie? Because like
Batman v Superman had like 3 different plot lines going on at the same time. Yeah. It was looking like more like an anime storyline than it was like anything else.
And then like the CGI, bro, like in the beginning it was like so lazy. Steppenwolf's mouth was like literally out of sync.
No, yes, and
that was terrible.
Let's address that.
Like, listen,
Steppenwolf's face looked like what happens when you stay in the pool for too long and you come out and your fingers look all whelped up. That's what he looked like.
Yeah, dude.
It was so like I don't get why he looked. I realized this the day after we saw the movie. Jason Momoa, the guy who plays Aquaman, he could have played Steppenwolf.
For real? With the facial hair thing?
That's how he looks like in the comics. He looks like, he's kind of like tannish, and he has the goatee and the long hair and the helmet. I was like, dude, get somebody that looks like Jason Momoa and put him in there. Like, that would have been way better than having a CG face on there.
Like, obviously, like, the CGI, like, that one part, like, it sounds like I'm being picky or whatever, but, like, it doesn't kill the movie or anything, but like, dude, that is so lazy, man. Like,
oh, definitely.
Nobody saw, like, his mouth was literally not in sync with the words.
Dude,
I was literally looking at
whenever it comes out on DVD, we're gonna have to break it down and like go like frame by frame. And,
CinemaSin's gonna have a field day.
Oh, definitely. Just with the CGI alone.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like Michael Bay is known for putting all those explosions in, but at least he's a master at CGI, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, come on.
It looks good at least.
Like you can kind of be like, oh well, I could kind of see those there, you know, like a transformer there or whatever. But we're not even gonna get into those because those are
just
man, those are far gone, man.
I was looking at my people I went to the movies with. I was looking. I'm like, do y'all see this? I was with my friend, man. My friend Jawan. He was like, the first probably first quarter of the movie. He was like, man, this acting is terrible, man. There's one scene, I think it was the scene where Barry was talking to his dad. I did not like, dude, that just seemed so off to me, dude. The conversation seemed so fake. It seemed so much like a script. It didn't play out well to me. I don't know what it was that was just like throwing me off, but I didn't like it. I was like, I kind of felt that. I think the issue is well, not the issue so much, but just like the way I interpreted it. Because I saw I watched The Flash or whatever.
Yeah.
And the scenes where they're going back and forth in that show is just done so well that I don't know, maybe I'm comparing it. I think that's the whole, because like overall the movie was good and everything, but like I think I'm comparing a lot of it to the animated shows and the actual TV shows they have, which I think are better than.
Oh, because those wipe the floor with Marvel's versions of like animated shows and stuff like that. So I was just like, but I mean, I don't know. Like that's what I said. That's what I was saying earlier. The Young Justice, TV show and the the Justice League animated shows or animated movies. Yeah. When we see and hear Barry Allen, we're like, dude, that is Barry Allen. Then when you go to this movie and you see him, you're like, okay, first of all, he doesn't have the blonde hair, which is fine. That's anything.
Cool. That changes.
That's not a problem. But the problem is that like he didn't sound like a Barry Allen. Yeah. Like he sounded like it was high school Barry Allen or something and then he didn't even get his powers until he was like older, right? Yeah. Like almost in every storyline, it was like till he was like older, right? Yeah. So it kind of like threw you off. But I feel like in the end it ended up well.
Yeah.
And I feel when we talk about the things that we like and like where the movies or the DCEU is headed in general, I feel like that'll be like, dude, that's why I thought the Flash was low key the MVP, because like he's gonna be so good in coming up in the upper things.
I will say, like, with the whole thing of them not being like established, it leaves a lot for like the standalone movies.
Definitely.
Like Aquaman, they don't want to talk about his origins so much, because then in the movie they're like, what are we gonna do about that? So they left a lot, because like the whole time he was assembling the Justice League, like in the way it's supposed to be done is like they're all superheroes already. They just don't know each other. And Batman's like, well, there's a threat, so we gotta get everybody. But in this movie, it's almost like X-Men, where they find kids with talents and they're like, all right, let's get these kids.
Yeah.
But in Justice League, it's supposed to be like, oh, the Flash, he's in Central City. He's like a cold superhero. He's fighting all these people. Let's get him. And then they meet, instead of like, oh, this guy's got some powers. Let's just try to get him. But he's never fought anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
but I see why. I actually, Snyder, for once, even though like it's a little bit questionable, I see what he's doing, because like you gotta have something for the films. They've already announced all these films and stuff.
However, I do not want to. Me personally, I mean, I don't know what Cyborg does like by himself. Like he doesn't really do anything like by himself. He's either with the League or the Teen Titans. Yeah. So whenever they make that Teen Titans like standalone movie, introduce like Damian Wayne and the newer version of the Teen Titans, because I feel like Cyborg has to be in that one. Like because if they have a standalone movie with Cyborg, it's probably going to fail. Yeah. Because Cyborg doesn't like have his like own villains, because you think of your own villains and you're like, okay, well, Batman has Joker and these guys, and then Flash has Reverse Flash and all those guys. They have their like for real, like these guys have these villains, and it's like clear cut. Cyborg's like, oh, whoever's villains the Leagues are his villains. So, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they don't go that way.
I'll tell you this. I'm going to take a quick shot at DC. Marvel could pull it off, honestly. I don't know how.
Could pull off what?
a Cyborg standalone film if they had to. Like Marvel,
I mean, they could.
Marvel can take those not as popular guys and just like make everybody love them, man. Like if Marvel did a freaking Hawkeye film, they could make it like a banger, easy.
They probably could.
They know
definitely if it's live action.
Their storytelling's better, even though like they
literally have like no stories left. Yeah. Like they really need a reboot. DC has had like 3. It's just like come on.
Dude, I don't know man. That's what Adam was saying the other day. I thought about that. I was like, dang. I did not think like after Infinity War.
Marvel is not going to have anything.
For like if they want to do a reboot, they're gonna have to wait 20 years.
Oh yeah, because
so what are they gonna do?
They have to put all those issues
like
out.
They're literally bringing out every superhero. You've already rebooted like some. Well, technically, that was back in the day, but like Spider-Man, they've done it this third time, even though Marvel Studios didn't do it.
Yeah,
but like, what are you gonna do after this? You can't just be like,
man.
Oh, Iron Man 7.
Iron Man 7.
We already beat Thanos. Like, who's coming?
Dude. I mean, yeah, Thanos is their dark side, basically.
Much, yeah.
Like, and they don't have like the new gods versus the old gods or anything like that. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like DC has. I feel like even though most of their movies have been like either okay, subpar, or bad, you know, it's just like they have
Wonder Woman.
So they have so much content. I'm talking about like the majority. Like you know, there is those shining moments like Wonder Woman,
Dark Knight,
and Dark Knight Rises wasn't that
the
good.
one with the Joker, whichever one that was.
It's Dark Knight. It's Dark Knight.
Yeah,
I liked the first one, but you did not like.
It wasn't bad. I just didn't think it was like.
I liked the first one.
Much.
The funniest thing was Liam Neeson being Ra's al Ghul. That was so funny to me. But anyway, moving on. What was your least favorite to wrap out? Like what of our wrap up? What our dislikes were of the movie? What was your least favorite scene in the movie?
Scene?
Yeah, least favorite scene or like least favorite sequence, whatever. Like just your thing that you were just like, dude, that was the weakest point of the movie.
I'll let you go first. I'll think about mine.
Okay,
I will say I did not like the exchange between Barry and his dad. I didn't.
Yeah, you already said that. But
I'll think of one.
Yeah. I would say that my least favorite thing was Silas Stone's character. I thought that he was like at some points he was like spot on. Like he was like, okay, yeah, you know, I saved my son, you know, I did all this or whatever. But then like at some points it was just like because you're special. Like, you know, it was just like a stereotypical like, you know,
that
like
cliche thing.
Yeah, it was just so much cliche. I was just like, but in total his character was not like, his casting was good and his character was good, but there's just he had a lot of more low moments than a lot of the other characters did that I found. Like, and he was one of the, you know, not even a main character in the story. You know, he was like, he had like 20 minutes of screen time, or not even that, like 10, you know, it's something just like a really small amount of screen time.
I feel
but
that.
you could feel the flaw, like you'd even feel it or see it, and you're like, what? That didn't make any sense or whatever. But that would be my low point for me of lowest scene or sequence in the movie.
Muy interesante. I tell you this, man. I guess my lowest point. Well, I wasn't gonna say it's the lowest point, but I did not like. And I love when like I'm not a fan of Superman, but I hate when they nerf him. Like Superman is extremely strong, but like the way this man came in and just started whooping Steppenwolf, it was like, bro, like there's no struggle whatsoever.
No diff.
Like
no diff.
Obviously, Superman is not gonna die again, but like I felt I mean, maybe you want him to whoop Steppenwolf, so when Darkseid comes in and he beats up Superman, you can see how strong Darkseid really is. Like in Superman's like pale in comparison sometimes. It depends what you're reading, but like I don't know, man. I don't like how easy it was. Like when Superman came back, it was just like the movie's over. Like he's about to be Superman.
I mean, yeah, and it's also funny because Steppenwolf, like, as a main villain for a superhero movie, especially a live-action movie, was like, I thought was like a weird choice because Steppenwolf in the comics, like from what I've seen, you know, I don't really like sit down and I'm just like, oh, I just read all the comics forever. But like, you know, the videos that I've seen of people like Comic Historian or whatever, or people explaining them, and Steppenwolf comes in for like 3 pages, and then he's gone. Like he's just like he's like there, and then he's just gone, or he just gets beaten like that, just like immediately. So I'm just like, I just thought it was a weird choice. And the funniest thing, the first trailer that they ever showed, you know, they didn't show much of Steppenwolf, probably because they didn't have his model completely rendered or something. You know, I don't know how CG works, but I thought that it was low-key Darkseid because of his skin, dude. It was just so weird. I was like, is that Darkseid? They can't be pulling out Darkseid. I remember I texted you. I was like, dude, this cannot be Darkseid. Yeah,
you texted me that. I was like, no, that's Steppenwolf, bro. Because I was like, bro. I knew it wasn't Darkseid because they said they were doing a 2-parter, and I'm like, oh no, they're not gonna bring Darkseid in the freaking first part, or at least like, well, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have the Justice League just get whooped at the end of the movie, and then it's like to be continued.
To be continued.
Like, y'all gonna beat him at the last second, but like, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I saw Steppenwolf. I didn't know much about him. I just know he comes in before Darkseid does.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, moving on to the things that we liked.
We did like.
Dude, ooh, man. Wonder Woman.
Dude, the Amazon, like the Amazons when they were fighting Steppenwolf, I like that whole scene.
That was
so dope to me.
That choreography, it was just
when he was trying to get the mother box and she like attached the thing to the arrow and shot the arrow.
Yeah,
that was so cool to me.
I thought like, that was really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the strongest.
I knew
points.
They were gonna do that right because like the Wonder Woman movie was awesome. They did that really good.
I also my other thing that I really liked about the movie was the Flash and Superman together, and especially at that end credit scene where they do the race, because the Flash and Superman have raced so many times in the comics. I thought that was really cool to show, and you know, when they're together and they're like Flash, there's too many people. You need to get these people, and I'll get the people. You get the people on the left. I'll get the people on the right. Yeah. And then man gets the whole entire building of like all the refugees or whatever, and then he gets like one family.
That was hilarious, man.
You know, that was one of the strongest points of the movie.
That was hilarious, and,
if not the strongest. I thought that might have been the strongest.
Where Aquaman was, they were all like, Justice League was all together, and Aquaman was like saying, you know, we're gonna die or whatever.
Yeah, he's like,
pretty much said like 5 or 6 sentences, and then after that, he literally contradicts everything he just said, like in a parallel, and then Batman like points at him, and he like looks down and see he has the lasso of truth on him, and then he like takes it off. That was hilarious.
I think that or the Flash Superman connection was the strongest points of the film, because you were like, bro, that was like perfectly timed. You know, like the cinematography was good and all that stuff. That was legit. So
I think the best part of the film was the end credits when Lex Luthor came in, because you know, Jesse Eisenberg, that was just a great casting decision.
Bro, stop. Get out of here. Get out of my
Zack
podcast.
Snyder, listen, man. I don't know who's making the choice, who's making the calls around there, man. But if you don't do anything else, please just no. Why? Why Lex Luthor?
Kill him off, please.
Why Jesse Eisenberg? I don't even hate Jesse Eisenberg as an actor.
He's actually a good actor.
Casting decision. I don't know if I'm hearing he's the son of. I don't know. I don't care.
Just no.
Just no.
Just no.
I've had enough already. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this about the end credits. Deathstroke.
That was the best casting of the movie.
Deathstroke is my favorite DC villain ever. And him being in the movie and the way he looks just like he does in the comic books. I'm like, dude,
that was like the perfect.
And that's another thing, Zack Snyder. I don't know what direction you're going. I don't know if that has to do with the next movie. I don't know if that has to do with the Batman movie.
Hey.
I honestly don't care. Put Deathstroke in it, give him a lot of screen time, and I'll be happy.
Yes. His everything to his. You know, his hair was the right color.
Everything.
Like they probably took the hexadecimal color and put it like they were like, dude, this
perfect,
is the
dude.
Like that was perfect. Like the suit was just straight up. Oh my! I was like, bro, dude, Deathstroke, okay. You know
what they could do, man. Which I know they said they're doing a Deathstroke standalone movie, but they could have like if they want to do Teen Titans, they could have them fighting Slade.
The Judas Contract.
Yeah, they could do that.
Dude, the Judas Contract was a brilliant animated movie. I love that movie.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, so that goes on to the next thing. For the standalone movies that they have planned, that they've shown or whatever, you know, how hype are you for the DCU? How hype are we?
Actually, you know, well now that I know the Flash, Aquaman, and who's the other one? Well, I don't know if what they're gonna do with Cyborg, but I know they're doing the Flash and Aquaman.
Shazam.
Those are both. Oh yeah, Shazam too. Well, I don't know. Well, he wasn't in the movie, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't even.
But
think
obviously, well, I guess for that too, because he wasn't in the movie. Obviously, it's gonna be origin story for all of them, but it's not not their origin story is not as like familiar to everybody as Batman's. It's like you don't need to tell people, oh yeah, Batman, oh his parents died, he got shot.
Yeah, everyone knows Batman.
You know Superman. You know, but
and they already did Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
so.
and they already did Wonder Woman. So for the remaining characters, you're gonna get an origin story. And I'm not 100% sure what Aquaman. I forget his, but I know the Flashes. But like not everybody knows that. So I think it'll be good. It depends who directs it. Zack Snyder probably will direct it. Please don't let me down, Zack Snyder.
Dude. He's okay. Look, did he direct Wonder Woman?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay, let's just say
whoever did that. No, that movie was good. So I'm gonna. The movie was good.
We can't give it to him.
I'm about to look that. No, I'm gonna look that up, man. I would like to know who directed Wonder Woman.
Okay, so as for me, I believe, or I think that the DCEU, after watching this movie, is going in the right direction. I'm hyped for the Flash movie. Because I want to see Reverse Flash. Because he's got to be in there. I mean, you can't throw, like, the Blue Flash or somebody in there.
I don't know if he's going to be in the movie, man.
I mean,
the Flash is, like, barely even a superhero. And they're going to bring out his number one guy.
I mean, he's in, like, every comic book that almost...
That's who I would want to see. That's who I would want to see. But they're going to... I mean, I think they're obviously going to do the...
I mean, what other...
They're going to do the Rogues.
What other villains does he have?
The Rogues. All of them.
Oh yeah, Captain Cold and all them. But
all of them.
As a standalone movie, the Rogues.
I mean, the way DC does things, you always like, or at least in their TV shows, pretty much everybody does it. You got to bring out all the stops to start it off.
Looks like it was directed by Patty Jenkins. Right there to the.
It says Zack Snyder too, but he had something to do with it. Alan. Yeah, directed by Patty Jenkins.
Dude, sign up Patty Jenkins.
I want her to have something to do with the movie.
Please.
Because she knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing.
But, what were we saying?
Talking about Flash.
Oh, yeah, the villains or whatever. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the TV shows. And even though, like, obvious, I guess you got to bring out Reverse Flash. You got to bring out your stops.
Dude,
that number one thing. Like, they brought out Ares for Wonder Woman. They brought out in the TV shows for the Flash. Season 1 is Reverse Flash.
Definitely.
And Arrow, you got Merlin. You have to bring out that number one guy first. That's how you started off.
Who are they gonna play? Who are they gonna get to play Green Arrow?
I don't know.
Dude, is Green Arrow gonna even have a standalone movie?
You know what's funny about as much as I love Green Arrow in the TV show, Stephen Amell, like he's an awesome actor, but like there is a chance that they can pull somebody out that I'm like, wow, no, this is a better, just because of the looks.
Who is it?
Anybody. I'm just saying, like, there's
just
a possibility
okay.
because like you've heard me compare,
yeah,
and like every time I'm saying the TV shows are better than what Justice League did,
yeah,
but like Stephen Amell does not 100% have the Green Arrow look.
No, he doesn't.
But I don't mind it because I love that show. He's doing awesome. But like, they might be able to bring in somebody, get the facial hair, everything down.
Yeah.
The voice, you haven't seen Arrow.
No, I haven't personally.
And he's not witty at all.
Oh, come on now.
Green
That's
Arrow
like his name.
Might
That's
be the
thing.
wittiest superhero. Like, bro, and I want them to bring somebody in that has
him and Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Just come on now.
Come on, man. And that bring another one, Green Lantern movie. Whoever's in charge of this,
dude,
do not mess this up.
Hire the best CG,
please,
because it's gonna be laced with it.
Don't.
That's what its DNA is going to be. Is going to be all CG. And as we know, the Ryan Reynolds movie was like a 4.
It doesn't have.
It's just like
it's an all CG thing, man. Like they just gotta hire them. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. They just gotta get the right people on there. I've seen movies with hella CG, and they're really good movies.
I mean, dude. Also, the writing was bad on that. I was just like.
Dude.
They didn't even show Sinestro as a Yellow Lantern until the end.
Yeah, he didn't even do anything.
It's like, dude, by the time like Hal Jordan, especially
they thought they were gonna be a do another.
Yeah,
movie.
look, especially if they're going off the New 52/Rebirth, line of comics, like or whatever, and they're sticking to that storyline. Sinestro's already a Yellow Lantern.
Yeah,
and Hal Jordan and him are already fought. Yeah, like, and so like if if Sinestro is not a Yellow Lantern in the Green Lantern movie, then what the heck are they gonna? What are they gonna fight Agent Orange? They gonna get Larfleeze? Larfleeze.
Man, I think that, like I said, you got to pull out the stops, man, and like, but I guess not everybody knows Hal Jordan's origin story.
Well, they also changed it in New 52.
Oh, they
well, not necessarily his origin story.
Was Sinestro ever a Green Lantern in the New 52?
Yes,
he was.
Yes.
Well, they're gonna try to include that though, but like, what you gotta,
he's literally like a Green Lantern for like maybe one issue.
I don't want to see Green
too much.
Lantern. I don't want to see a Green Lantern movie where Sinestro's not a Yellow Lantern.
Yeah, or will be a Yellow Lantern like halfway through the movie or something like that. Definitely, I agree. The first thing, the way it is that I understand it is that Hal Jordan's like origin is the same. Like his dad dies as a fighter pilot or whatever, and then he becomes a fire pilot. God, can I talk? Fire pilot, and he's just like all over the place or whatever. And then the thing that they changed was how he gets his green ring, because he like either it gets like the Guardians take it from him for something. I'm not necessarily sure, but they take it from him and he makes his own Green Lantern, or I mean, he makes his own Green Lantern and his own green ring. So like,
what? Yeah,
so he is so OP in the Rebirth in New 52 that it's just like, bro. So I don't know how they're gonna, what are they gonna go with or whatever. Also, going back to the end credit scene, with Luthor and Deathstroke talking, if they do Legion of Doom, I'm gonna be really excited for that because dude, Black Manta, Deathstroke, Joker.
The next movie,
bruh.
The next movie is not gonna be Legion of Doom, but maybe for all these standalone films, there's gonna be like the Legion of Doom are gonna be the villains for the standalone films. Like,
okay,
you got the.
I mean, I would be fine with that.
That's what I'm guessing, because like you got Aquaman is gonna fight Black Manta, and then you got Deathstroke is gonna fight Batman, and then the Flash. Who they got in Legion of Doom for the Flash? Reverse Flash is not in Legion of Doom.
They have the Rogues.
No,
they have Captain Cold.
I don't think so. Could be wrong. Captain Cold's not even.
They're not even villains.
He's
they're
not
just
even
like
a villain.
Yeah, I mean,
none of them are.
They don't kill anybody.
Captain Cold will kill you. But
he will. But I'm saying
Captain Cold is not really a villain. He's. I wouldn't say he's an anti-hero. But
he kind of.
He has motives. He's not evil. I don't know. You know what I mean.
So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're going in the right direction. I'm hyped for it, and hopefully they can get some better casting, or not better casting, better directors and stuff. Sign up Patty Jenkins.
I wonder if their goal, like, obviously they want to have stuff set up for the next movies, but like, I wonder if their goal was to just be like, all right, let's just leave a lot to be desired, and then when we drop these movies, people will want to watch them because they're like, they want to know.
Yeah, they probably could, because like with the DC Rebirth,
it'll work on me.
The DC Rebirth and the New 52, they have so much that they can use, so many stories that they can use. Personally, I'd like to see, there's this storyline in the Rebirth where the Red Lanterns go to war with the Green Lantern Corps and the Yellow Lantern Corps. Yeah, it's like really cool. So I thought that'd be a cool one, like to do as like a main antagonist, have Atrocitus in there. I think that'd be really cool. I'd also want to see a lot of Black Manta. Because I don't really like, I know like stuff from the Injustice game or whatever, and some comics that I've seen or whatever, and it's just like, I don't know, I feel like Black Manta could be an A+ villain for them.
And I do wonder, like, for the standalone films, like, if you want to do an origin story, it's obviously that origin is before Justice League happened. So then from then, do you just tell the story before Justice League, or do you tell their origin story and then you want to go past it? Because if you don't, then like, obviously that means the Flash is not fighting Reverse Flash, because he definitely has not fought him yet.
No, I mean, they could show how Reverse Flash destroyed his life.
They could show that. Well, that's part of his origin. But I'm saying, like, he won't fight him unless he has his origin story to explain how it is. And then in the movie, they kind of like fast forward and they talk about how he was already in the Justice League and they had that fight against Steppenwolf. And now this is past that. Because whatever happens in the movie has to go past that for him to be fighting any like real villains. Because in the Justice League movie, he has not fought anybody, obviously.
Just like random thugs.
Yeah, just like petty crime. That's all he's done. But hey,
I know.
Maybe, like I said, Marvel could pull it off. DC, cinematic universe, whatever.
They're getting there.
They're making some
slowly
moves.
but surely.
You know what? They've had Wonder Woman and Justice League. If I had to say if it was good or bad, I'd say it was good. I liked it.
Going into that, what are our final ratings on the litometer? How, like, at a percentage?
Man.
What percent of how lit was it? Would you say
On the litometer?
on the litometer? How much would you say?
I will give it. We're going out of 10.
Or you want to do percent? It's up to you.
I don't. I think we go out of 10.
Out of 10.
I will give it I'll give it a 64%.
Okay, so we're going percent.
Yeah, 6.4, 64%.
64%. Okay, I would go right there. Actually, 65%.
65%.
65%. So we're right there. We're right. Kind of even or whatever. Go see this movie. It was entertaining. It did have its flaws, but it had its shining beacons as well. Wonder Woman and stuff like that.
If you have already seen it, let us know your thoughts on the movie. You've heard ours.
Definitely down in the comments.
We would like to hear y'all's, and if you disagree, I'm probably gonna argue with you. No, I'm just playing.
Definitely, we're gonna have an argument. We're gonna have an argument down in the comments.
Definitely let us know what you think if you've seen the movie. If you have not seen it, once again, go see it. Yep. You cannot call yourself a Batman fan if you don't see this movie.
True that. Anyway, that's been the Shogi Sound. We out.
We out. And before we leave, I just want to say, whoever casted Lex Luthor, thank you for ruining my life.
True that.